and a persistent need for excessive admiration. It's like being in a room with a mirror at every corner, where every reflection only amplifies their sense of self. But in this mirror-filled room, what shadows lurk in the corners? What are the things that truly despise? Understanding this could provide us with valuable insights into their behavior. It could also give us a handle on how to manage our interactions with them, whether they're our friends, family, or colleagues. It's like having a map of a labyrinth, knowing where the traps are and how to avoid them. So what are those things that narcissists truly despise? Let's delve into the heart of the matter. First and foremost, narcissists have an extreme aversion to criticism. They view themselves through a lens of absolute perfection. To them, they're the epitome of excellence, a paragon that stands unrivaled. This self-perception places them on an imagined pedestal, making them believe they're beyond reproach. Criticism, to a narcissist, is like a bitter pill that's difficult to swallow. It's a direct assault on their inflated self-image. It's not simply a suggestion for improvement or an opportunity for growth, as most of us would see it. No, to them, it's an unforgivable attack on their very essence. This high sensitivity to criticism stems from their deep-seated fear of being seen as less than perfect. It's not about being right or wrong, it's about maintaining their illusion of superiority. Criticism shatters that illusion, exposing their vulnerabilities and making them feel threatened. In the narcissist world, criticism is akin to a personal affront. Moving on, a significant aspect narcissists hate is inequality in relationships. To them, relationships are not about mutual growth, understanding, or companionship. Instead, they view relationships as a means to assert control and showcase their supposed superiority. The idea of equality in relationships is abhorrent to them. Why so? Because it directly challenges their deep-seated need for dominance and control. They can't bear to see their partner as an equal, let alone someone who could potentially surpass them. In fact, a narcissist feels threatened by their partner's independence or success. They perceive it as a direct challenge to their self-worth and superiority. To them, their partner's accomplishments are not a cause for celebration, but a threat that needs to be subdued. In a narcissist's world, relationships are a power game, and they always need to be on top. Any indication of equality or a shift in power balance is met with hostility and resistance. Scene 4. Another thing narcissists absolutely detest is being disregarded. Now let's delve into why. It's due to the fact that narcissists are attention seekers by their very nature. They flourish when they're the epicenter of all attention and the constant affirmation that accompanies it. They yearn to be recognized, listened to, and admired incessantly. But what transpires when that limelight's seized away from them? When they're disregarded, they feel invisible and insignificant. It's equivalent to a punch to their bloated ego, a fissure in the meticulously constructed facade they exhibit the world. This sensation is nearly unbearable for them. Being overlooked also disrupts the dominion they attempt to impose over their surroundings and its inhabitants. Without attention, they're incapacitated to manipulate or influence others, leaving them feeling powerless. So, in a nutshell, disregarding a narcissist deprives them of the very things they yearn for the most: attention, affirmation, and dominance. Disregarding a narcissist is akin to denying them the oxygen they need. Scene 5. Narcissists also despise losing their length. In their world, they must always hold the strings, being the puppet master to sustain their inflated self-image. They revel in manipulation, orchestrating the actions surrounding them. It's a game of power where they must always reign supreme. But what transpires when they lose this control? It's akin to a blow to their ego. The superiority they've so painstakingly constructed begins to fall apart. Self-doubt creeps in. They feel endangered and is something they absolutely abhor. For a narcissist, losing control is not just a typical setback. It's an existential crisis. It's an open assault on their meticulously constructed persona of perfection. It's an unflattering spotlight on their hidden flaws, which they've struggled to keep under wraps. It's a wake-up call they would rather ignore. Narcissists, losing control is synonymous with losing their self-worth. Scene 6. Interestingly, narcissists can't stand seeing others succeed. In their distorted worldview, every transaction seems to be a battle, and they're eternally engaged in a quest to emerge victorious. This ceaseless juxtaposition to others forms a core part of their identity. They are consistently weighing their self-worth against the triumphs of those in their vicinity. The success of others appears as an immediate danger to the narcissist's self-worth. It's more than just envy or jealousy. It's a profound of being outclassed, of feeling inadequate, of being substandard. In their minds, the triumph of others shines a harsh light on the shortcomings in their own lives. It's a glaring indicator that they're not the ultimate, not the most successful, not the most adored. And this realization is an unpalatable reality for a narcissist to accept. But how does a narcissist handle the success of others? They may resort to diminishing the other person's accomplishments, trivializing their success, or attributing it to fortune, rather than ability or diligence. Phrases like, "that could have been anybody," or "they just got lucky," are commonly used. It's a mechanism for them to regain some authority and resurrect their sense of superiority. In extreme situations, they may even attempt to thwart the other person's success. Spread rumors, conflicts, or try to destabilize the person in some way. It's all in the pursuit of safeguarding their brittle self-esteem and perpetuating their self-image as the best, the wisest, the most prosperous. Always for a narcissist, it's all about them. They closely link their self-worth to their perceived superiority. Any threat to this, like the success of someone else, is met with antagonism, bitterness, and frequently, devaluation. In the perspective of a narcissist, the success of someone else equates to their failure. It's a zero-sum game where victory can only belong to and for them. That one always has to be themselves. Moving on to scene 7, we delve into the psyche of who despise the feeling of vulnerability. The root of this aversion can be traced back to their grandiose self-image, a fortress they've meticulously constructed to shield themselves from the harsh realities of the world. It's their bulwark against the perceived threats of weakness and susceptibility to criticism. The self-perception of a narcissist is not just magnified, it's impervious, invincible. However, beneath this fortified facade resides a profound fear of vulnerability. Why? Because vulnerability exposes them to their own inadequacies, to the fact that they are not omnipotent, not infallible, not immune to blame. It's like peering into a mirror they'd rather shun, a mirror that reflects their genuine self, bereft of all pretense and grandeur. And that's a sight they'd ardently evade. Narcissists endeavor to sustain this mirage of invulnerability as it serves as their shield against the world. It's their strategy of keeping others at a distance, of secluding their true selves. To a narcissist, vulnerability is the ultimate adversary. Welcome to scene 8, where we've delved into the things narcissists despise. Our expedition into the complex maze of the narcissist's psyche has unfolded some captivating revelations. Narcissists, we've come to understand, hold a deep-seated disdain for criticism. Any dent on their inflated self-image sends ripples of discomfort coursing through them. We've also unearthed that being overlooked is a narcissist's worst fear. Their craving for attention is so extreme that even the slightest absence of it can trigger distress. What else irks them? Losing control. Narcissists yearn for the leading role in every circumstance, and they detest the thought of being demoted to a secondary role. We've observed how narcissists bear a grudge against others' success, as it overshadows their own vainglorious self-view. Finally, we've laid bare their dread of vulnerability, a sensitive spot they strive immensely to conceal. Grasping these dislikes provides a distinctive glimpse into the narcissist's mentality and aids in navigating interactions with them more efficiently.